I'm Stacey Holmes, and this is Glordinary, a few moments where we celebrate God's glory and champion the ordinary. I'm glad you're here. Raise your hand if you've had your credit card stolen. Who hasn't? My husband John and I are like professional when it comes to identity theft. That is, when it comes to having it swiped. We're the swipee, not the swiper, obviously. Friend, I'm a little hurt that I had to make that distinction. Oh yes, John and I are apparently very well-traveled and quite generous. We've graciously bought our credit card swipers train tickets in Amsterdam, 9 iPhones in one location, and we've even shipped a George Foreman grill to Michigan's Upper Peninsula. Now, the George Foreman grill, that one was my favorite. Can I just tell you, the most thoughtful criminal actually stacked 3 Kohl's coupons to purchase that Foreman grill with my money. I always appreciated how he or she was just trying to save me a few bucks, albeit with my stolen money. It's hard to find such courtesy in the criminal world. Well, we're not going to solve the problem of identity theft today, so let's talk about another kind of theft that's far more prevalent: linguistic theft. What theft? Linguistic theft, friend. We hear it all the time. Words being hijacked with entirely new definitions or even subtle, nuanced changes to promote a particular ideology. Think about it. We've got all sorts of words that we thought we knew what they meant. Words like love, truth, tolerance, well, they've all been repurposed and rebranded to mean something completely different, but we'll chat about that on a different day. Subtle differences, sneaky changes. It's what we'll be chatting about in our series, Did God Really Say? We'll plant here for the next couple of months. Linguistic theft, identity theft, tiny tweaks, and outright lies, all leading back to that same thief who comes to steal, kill, and destroy. That enemy we first meet in Genesis 3. But before we get to him, we've got to establish our baseline in Genesis 2. So check this out, starting in Genesis 2, verse 8. Now the Lord God had planted a garden in the east, in Eden, and there he put the man he had formed. The Lord God made all kinds of trees grow out of the ground, trees that were pleasing to the eye and good for food. In the middle of the garden were the tree of life and the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. Skip down to verse 15. The Lord God took the man and put him in the Garden of Eden to work it and take care of it. And the Lord God commanded the man, You are free to eat from any tree in the garden, but you must not eat from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, for when you eat from it, you will certainly die. A generous creator, a satisfied creation. Cue Genesis 3. Now the serpent was more crafty than any of the wild animals the Lord God had made. He said to the woman, Did God really say you must not eat from any tree in the garden? Now, I would love to really get in there and dissect these verses today, but we're almost through our first cup of coffee, so let's put a pin in that. For now, check out that subtle rewording, that little bit of linguistic theft from that forked tongue father of lies himself. Did God really say? Pause. Now think about this, my friend. Listen to the shift if someone says, Did Stace say that? Versus, Did Stace really say that? Do you hear it? It's a subtle difference to question my character, my motives, my words. In this case, a subtle difference dividing the generous creator and satisfied creation. That one word changes everything. Actually, that one word really changes everything. Did God really say? It promotes doubt, withholding, promotes this idea that God's holding out on me. He's keeping things from me. Why me? Why is it so much better for everyone else? Why would he keep that from me? Why wouldn't he want me to have the best? And the doubt and questioning creeps in. Did God really say you must not eat from any tree in the garden? Now, before anyone comes for me, what's the wording in the original Hebrew? Yep, that word really isn't in the Hebrew. Well, not exactly. It's translated as indeed and really for our English understanding to intensify the question because, well, honestly, The Hebrew grammar kinda demands the intensity. In Hebrew, it would have read more like this. Indeed, did God really say? The serpent doubles down on it in the original language. So when you hear, did God really say? Don't mishear the intent. This was not a curious question. This was not simply a polite, oh, did God really say that? That silly stinker. No, this is a challenge woven into the question. Did God really, indeed, actually say? And if we were to compare this question, this accusation really, with the original conversation with Adam in Genesis 2, we're going to find a vastly different detail. God actually said the exact opposite, whereas the serpent says, did God really say that you must not eat from any tree in the garden? What God actually says is, you're free to eat from any tree in the garden, but you must not eat from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. Well, that's pretty different. God says all the trees are beneficial and pleasing. All can be enjoyed, except one. All the trees, except one. I like those odds. That doesn't sound like holding back, withholding good things from me. That doesn't sound like a jerk move. That sounds like extravagant, generous love. A love that is for me, for my best. Protective love, boundary-providing love from a generous creator to a grateful creation. Until the subtle, sneaky lies, did God really say? That serpent's been twisting truth ever since. You see, the tricky part about the truth twist is our free will. We get to choose what we believe. We can choose to believe that we can't eat from any of the trees. Sure, we can choose what we believe. We just can't choose what's true. We can control the narrative, but we can't change objective, absolute truth. And when you can't change truth, the only resort that forked-tongued foe has is to bend it, to steal bits and pieces, ever so subtle shifted nuances, painting broad strokes of doubt and disillusionment. Did God really say? So let's chat about what God really does say, actually, indeed say, these next couple of months. I'll loosely base some of our conversation on Elisa Childers' book, Live Your Truth and Other Lies. Go ahead and plunk that one on your Christmas wish list. Worth it. But just to wet your whistle with a little taste of her writing style, listen to her words about the absolute, capital T, truth of God. She says this, truth is true for all people, in all places and times. It's also something you can't invent, think up, or create. It is something you discover. It doesn't change no matter how much people's beliefs about it do. Truth isn't altered. She's not wrong, friend. Truth isn't changing, no matter how sneaky and crafty the lies continue to shapeshift through life. So caffeinate your coffee, friend. We're gonna have some fun. Really, we're gonna have some fun. Remember, you're not alone in this. I'm praying for you, friend. Have a glordinary day.